cool because then this will be done and we can
we're
get it out
yeah.
when we get it out. Yeah, so
the only thing trouble I had is picking games because it's early on in the week.
It's so quick. I know.
Yeah,
I said the same
whatever.
thing. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey, the big Denver Broncos fan with the W on Sunday. How's it going, sir?
Not pretty, but a win is a win, especially week one.
Take the W.
Get it in the books. Feels good to have football back. Yankees are playing decent baseball. We got Ryder Cup in a couple weeks. It's a good time of year, bro. Weather's
it really is.
Weather's calming down, so it's good, man.
Really is a good time of year. We're going to get to the NFL, take a look at last week's games, obviously college football games. I put out a video saying like these are the weeks, these light weeks when we don't have a lot of marquee matchups is usually the weeks that you get like some stunning upsets, and we did get a few that were pretty surprising. But before we get to any of that, I wanted to open with this idea of, we talk a lot of times about how we love to go against the traditional sports media and what their narratives are. And we just kind of tell it like it is, what we see, what we think is going to happen. And more often than not, we're right. Maybe not in the moment, but eventually. But I do get such a big kick out of when the sports media, whether it's ESPN, Fox Sports, it doesn't matter the outlet when I'm coming to this, is wrong. And one of the absolute prevailing thoughts out there, and I think we had it to a certain degree too, even so I can't even totally kill them on this solely, was the idea that Aaron Rodgers was washed up. He stinks. He's not going to be good. Pittsburgh's going to regret that they ever took him, that they ever signed him, and the Jets were right for walking away from him. And we'll talk about the game in a little bit, I suppose. But I just like the idea that he went out there and threw 4 touchdown passes, had a really special game. He was even pretty mobile. He still has mobile-ish, yeah. Pretty mobile, not like, running for 30 yards or anything, but still has a great arm, still can make all the throws, and ends up bringing his team back in a comeback and a comeback win over the Jets, surprisingly enough. But, you have guys like Chris Canty who were certain that he was washed up. I'm sure Mike Greenberg was thrilled to have him out of the building in Florham Park. Dan Orlovsky, I'm sure a million times said, what a mistake it was for Pittsburgh. And I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season, but for one day, he looked really friggin' good. And the one thing that I will say that we talked about that nobody else was really talking about too much was the idea that he's now 2 years removed from the Achilles injury. You'd have to go back and listen to our podcast last year around this same time where we said, don't be surprised if he's a little tentative, if he's a little like gun shy. And he was for the Jets. And as the season went on, you can tell he was just more and more letting it rip. It was too late. They weren't that good. The defense really disappointed. But you can see that. And he showed that yesterday. That looked like a guy from 3 years ago. That looked like the guy that we remember in the Green Bay Packers uniform with the accuracy and making the right decisions. Those 4 touchdowns, over 225 yards. I don't know the exact number. Also, no interceptions. That's the Aaron Rodgers that we know, right? Like, so I just revel in the idea about how everybody knew that this was a terrible decision by the Steelers. And one of the things we talked about is, I don't know what Aaron Rodgers has left, and I still don't after this game. It's one game. Let's not lose our minds. Do you at least think he's better than Russell Wilson? Do you at least think he's better than Justin Fields? I think we both agreed probably. How much we weren't sure, but probably, even if he got the guy from the Jets last year, he's better than Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So it's always fun to me when all the experts know exactly what's going to happen and the exact opposite. If Josh Allen didn't go absolutely fucking bananas on Sunday night, then you could make an argument that Aaron Rodgers, played the best at the position of quarterback over the weekend.
Sure.
No, I just love the idea that, as usual, is often the case, the sports media was wrong.
The sports media became really close to being wrong when every single person picked Philadelphia.
Oh,
and if the Cowboys didn't get fucking screwed with a rain delay and the fumble, I think they might have pulled that game out.
There's an argument to be made that 2 plays, if 2 plays go different, just 2 plays go slightly, not even like crazy different. Just if CeeDee Lamb catches a ball that he would normally catch, right, and if they don't fumble, they win that game. They probably win that game. Not maybe, probably win the game.
We'll start there. Last Thursday night in the opener, defending champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, 24. The scrappy fighting Dallas Cowboys, 20. I thought they had a lot more than I anticipated.
Sure.
Dak looked very good.
Really good.
Run game was there with Javonte Williams, which pisses me off to no end. Defensively, I mean, they got a little help with stupid Jalen Carter spitting on a guy before the game even started.
So bizarre. So bizarre.
Really bizarre. So they got thrown off right off. You could argue they got thrown off right from that a little bit. You got to be smarter than that, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Guys lose their minds sometimes.
But dude, there hasn't been a
snap. Unacceptable. Yeah. It's just unacceptable. And of all things, spitting.
Right.
Like even football players, you lose your mind, you throw a punch, you lose your mind, you late hit because you're pissed. Spitting is just one of those things. You don't do it no matter where you are. Right. Like you just don't ever see athletes spit on each other. You just don't do it. It's just insane.
Thought Brian Schottenheimer was prepared. Didn't look too big for him. I thought he called a pretty good game. They definitely missed Micah. That's no secret there. I mean, I'm not breaking any news with that. They had trouble getting home. Hurts was running around a little bit back there, scrambling for first downs. Again, first game, hard to take. And I'm going to say this probably 12 times today, but A.J. Brown, really nothing. Devontae Smith, nothing. They kind of Hurts and Barkley again. You can't do this for 17 weeks, guys. You got to throw the ball and move the ball downfield, chunk plays, and I think that'll happen. But, hey, listen, 1-0. I think the Cowboys could build on that. I know we're not on the moral victory game, but good start for both.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're the Eagles fans, you can chalk it up to the Jalen Carter thing, and then it's the home opener with the banner, and there's a lot of hype and heat, and we'll see what happens moving forward. If you're Dallas, you got to feel pretty good. Number one, you came out, and we thought they'd be okay offensively this year. They got a lot of weapons. The offensive line looked good. Dak had good protection. I don't think there was a punt in the first half, which was pretty wild to watch. We didn't expect to see that. But you should be even more, if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you should be even more encouraged because of actually what went down in the second half. The fact that you only gave up 3 points to one of the highest scoring teams in the league last year, the Super Bowl champions last year, gave up 3 points. That I looked at that and I'm like, okay, then if I'm a Cowboys defender, I'm thinking we don't need Parsons. We don't need that. We got this, So I would think, I think the game as a whole, it just was odd. You had like 40 something points at halftime and then 3 points the entire second half. It just boggles my mind. But I think if you're a Dallas fan right now, you're at least thinking positively. You're thinking better than you probably were a week ago. How about that?
Sure. I agree.
I
agree. Friday night in Brazil, Chargers 27, Chiefs 21. Justin Herbert, the guy we've been asking for, showed up week 1.
Oh, man. I tell you what, when that guy's dealing, does anybody look better throwing a ball? Like, it's almost like he's AI. Like, if you were to ask AI, what is a quarterback supposed to look like when they throw a ball on a line 35 yards downfield, create a video? It would just be some video of Justin Herbert making bro, he can absolutely sling it when he wants to and deadly accurate. He's fantastic. And then to get the win is big. I will say this, man, Kansas City's got some issues. Like, there are some real issues on Kansas City. They do not have a real great passing attack. Even their defense, I think they lost a couple guys on defense just through attrition. You can't pay for everybody.
Yeah, Reed's gone. I think they lost a linebacker in there.
Yeah, so, like, there's issues there. Kelsey's a little older. There's issues there. Mahomes is so good. Andy Reid is so good that they're still going to win a lot of games. But, man, oh, man, do they really lean on and rely on Patrick Mahomes to have a big game, because there really are some serious issues there that they're dealing with that are not just so easy to overcome through scheme. They're just limited personnel wise.
I was watching something the other day. Was it yesterday's pregame show? Maybe. They were showing how Mahomes doesn't go downfield that much anymore because they don't know.
They don't have the guy to do it.
They have Worthy, but now they lost him for a couple of weeks, it looks like, on a fluke injury. There's talks like maybe trade for Tyreek Hill, but then there's a stat where he hasn't caught a ball over 30 yards in a year.
Right.
So to see, is it McDaniel? Is it Tua?
Right.
Or is it Tyreek.
And yeah, and then the other side of it is like the NFL world balances out over time, no matter what you think, right? No matter how good you are, things balance out. And I think they won, what was it, like, I don't know, 11 or 14 straight one-score games?
Yeah, something crazy.
Dude, that can't go on forever just by accident. That's not going to change. And especially, we've talked ad nauseum about some of those games last year that they ended up winning that were one-score games that really, let's be honest, in a regular world, in the non-Kansas City gets what they want all the time world, they should have lost those games. And I get the sense that that's going to balance out this year. Again, I'm not trying to say they're going to stink or they're going to be last place. I'm not going that far. That would be crazy. But don't be surprised if this is like a 10-win team. I don't think that's out of the realm from what I saw. And it has nothing to do with Andy Reid or Patrick Mahomes. I still think he's the best. And I still think Andy Reid is an all-time great, if not the greatest. But they're just limited by personnel, man. They just are limited by personnel. The other side of it is I think Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach. He knows how to build a team. He knows what it takes to win football games. And that team is becoming exactly what he wants them to be, wants any football team to be. And Joe Alt moving to left tackle almost seamlessly. He just goes over there and is protecting Justin Herbert like he's been a left tackle his whole life. It just says a lot about how Harbaugh runs his program, what he expects, and then how the players respond to him. They're becoming exactly, and this has happened everywhere he goes. Michigan became exactly what he wanted them to become. San Francisco came exactly, and even back in Stanford, going back to San Diego. He gets his team to be exactly what he wants them to be. He knows the kind of people he wants as players and as people, and because he knows the kind of work ethic that he wants, that he needs to get out of him, and he fucking gets it, man. It's really something else. It really is.
Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator for him too. He was at Michigan with national championship team. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be a head coach very shortly. Yep. To hold Mahomes and those guys to 21 in a foreign country week one.
Yep.
Well done.
And who's the wide receiver? Quentin Johnson, who I don't want to call a bust, but he's been disappointing to this point.
There, yeah, and he's turning
he was very disappointing to this point. Good God, if he's going to play like that with Ladd McConkey, kind of in the mid-range,
I know, not happy.
They're going to be really dangerous this year, really dangerous. And then it'll come down to what you've always said, hey, man, can Justin Herbert perform in the playoffs? But it sure looks like if they stay healthy, this is going to be a really, really tough team to compete with.
Game that broke my heart a little bit here, even though I love Baker. Buccaneers 23, Falcons 20. Really good game. A little boring early, but then it got exciting late. Penix and Baker going back and back. Listen, this could be a thing for 10 years, Baker and Penix.
I totally agree.
I would hope that's the case. Run game, a little non-existent for both quarterbacks on their shoulders. And
Atlanta definitely struggled. And they wanted to run it a little more than they did.
Bijan was great in the passing game, but didn't rush the ball really at all. Bucky Irving couldn't get going on that side either. Kicking game, again, becomes an issue. Almost on both sides. Tampa Bay got an extra point in the air to take a 4-point lead. They clanks that one. Then the Falcons moved the ball great and get field goal range, and Younghoe Koo hit the ball, I think, in my driveway. Never had a shot. Good game. I think that they'll be both in the conversation for playoffs down the line.
Totally agree. If you watch this
mid-season form, throwing balls, beautiful, great player.
Both teams should feel like they're the class of their division. Not that that's saying much with the other two teams in there, but they're going to be battling it out. And while Tampa knew they had their guy, and I'm sure Atlanta would tell people they had their guy, Michael Penix can really chuck it, dude.
Yes, he can.
He is very good, and he's making the Atlanta brass look really smart, even though they got hammered on draft day when they picked them. They're looking really, really smart because he can spin it, man. He's really accurate. He's mobile enough, and I liked them. I liked them the whole time, you know that. And I like him even more now. I just think he just looks like a pro. He can really fucking chuck it, man. He's a really good looking quarterback. They should be thrilled. They should feel like they really got their guy, no doubt.
Gonna be fun to watch them where they end up during the year here.
Yeah.
The Bengals 17, the Browns 16. Mm-hmm. The Browns lost
one of my winners.
The Browns lost this game 3 times.
Yeah.
The Bengals again with a slow start.
Yep.
Again, Browns are no slouch on defense, and they were getting after Joe's ass. But I tell you, it doesn't look pretty, and this has become a problem. If they lost this game, the hot seat I think would have gotten really hot for Mr. Taylor.
Yeah,
Because
we were talking. We talked last week about how I think he's like 1-8 in his, or 1-9 in his last 10 home, first two games of the season, and 17 points from $110 million offensive, 3 guys on offense is just not enough. It's just not good enough. So there's real problems there. There's real problems there. I will say, and it's too early to say because it's the Browns and Joe Flacco, 41 years old, and all that kind of stuff. But at least the defense looked better. This was the biggest concern coming into the season. Again, I don't want to get too excited about it for them because it is the Browns. Look, they played New England first game of the season last year and only gave up 16 points, but only scored 13. So I'm not ready to say they've, undone the slow start thing, because to me, this is still a slow start. But at least it's a win. It's not a loss. It's a win. And you can say that at least, and also the defense played pretty well. Joe Burrow was fucking awful.
It was awful.
Second half. I mean, he just was
7
bad.
yards, I think he threw for in the second half.
I think it was 7 yards, like one goddamn completion or something stupid, like some really stupid, bizarre number. So
Flacco did enough to win the game because they missed an extra point and a field goal. But man, that offense is tough to watch too. I think they got to sell on one running back, and Judy and Tillman and Njoku were pretty decent on the outside. There are teams with worse weapons than that.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think, what's going to happen. They're going to go to fucking Shador at some point. And I
don't think people are going to be as thrilled about that as they think they are.
I agree with you. I think the Bengals, I got to tell you, the Bengals scare me, man.
Well, I'm sitting here saying that their defense looked better, which is something they should be happy about. But be real careful because, I know you weren't up against like the best.
The Ravens and the Bills are like,
oh my god,
I know
come on, man. This is exactly why you question. How do you spend $120 million a year or 110 in 1 year on 3 guys on offense? And then you're going to nitpick with the highest sack total defensive end in the league on your team.
And then not for nothing too, you're having trouble protecting them.
Why? Because
you can't afford to line your ass. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't. Yeah.
It's awful. Anyway. Terrible.
Peter, to the Meadowlands, and you opened up the show with this. I got to tell you, Aaron Glenn has me intrigued, to say the least.
That's a fair word.
Steelers 34, Jets 32. Again, a couple shots to win the game. Now you can look at this. You can look at this 4 ways. If you're a Steeler fan, you love the way Rodgers looked and hate the way the defense looked.
For sure.
If you're a Jeff fan, you love the way Justin Fields played, Breece Hall ran the ball, but pissed off the way your defense looked with a defensive head coach. Beautiful day out there. I know it was a fun game to watch. Back 60-yard bombs to take a lead.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin does it again. All the guy does is win the regular season. I know Steelers fans love hearing that. We have a couple of them that listen to the show. Your thoughts as a former, current, back in the room Jet fan here? I don't know what.
I would say typical Jets. They found a way to lose. You should be happy for one game. Justin Fields looked good. He was one of the highest rated. I don't know that he played the best, but he was one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the NFL. One stat that should be encouraging about Justin Fields was that he was 100% on target for when he threw. So like when he did throw the ball, he was 100% on target, which just means whoever he chose to throw the ball to, he didn't miss. Mm-hmm. Now they might not have caught it or defense knocked it down, but 100% on target. And that's one of those things that I say that's unusual for him. Like hasn't been the most accurate, especially on some of those quicker throws, timing throws, hasn't been his thing. So he looked good. And then he took off a couple times and looked good. Of course, we'll get back to the whole sports media discussion. They wanted him to do good. He looked good and they're jerking off all over themselves because of it. And I just say slow down. We've seen Justin Fields look good at times in the past. And it's as with any quarterback, it's a matter of doing it all the time. And I'm just not going to sit here and tell you that he's definitely going to do it all the time now. I think that's crazy because we just have never seen it before. So why should I expect it now? What I think Jets fans should be super encouraged about, is their running game. And you mentioned Breece Hall, but what I'm going to say is, I don't know, from what I saw, at least 8 to 10 runs that Breece Hall was 5 yards down the field before he even got touched, which says to me, less Breece Hall, which I like Breece Hall, so I'm not trying to take it away from him, but more that offensive line. Not only were they run blocking, but they were pass protecting pretty goddamn well. There was a stretch there. Too. Right. There was a stretch there where TJ Watt just went off for 6 straight plays. But for the most part, they kept these guys in check.
Yeah.
If the running game, look, they got Buffalo coming this week. If the running game is going to continue like this, what did we say in the beginning before the season started? We said that you're going to know that you played the Jets. You're going to feel it that you played the Jets because they want to be physical. If they're going to run the ball like that, they're just going to be a tough team to play. They're not going to be the time. I don't know how many games they're going to win. I still think they're not going to win a ton of games, but they're going to be the kind of team that you can't just walk in and beat them because it's going to be physical, and you better be ready for that style of play.
Yeah, at least for a little while, especially if they stay healthy. They're going to beat you up. They're going to
because I'm looking at, I know you said your Steelers fans won't be happy with the way the defense played, and I'm curious to see as we move forward, was it the Steelers defense that was the issue, or is this we talked in the beginning in preseason about how this is a rebuild offensive line. You got 2 really young, beautiful looking tackles. ABT wasn't there, but then they moved Tippmann to guard, Myers to center. We said this could be a significantly improved offensive line. If that's the case, if it's the offensive line of the Jets and Breece Hall running the ball, that was the thing, and not so much an older, aging, weakened, lesser than Pittsburgh defense, they're going to be a tough team to handle this year.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the ball, I just want to say I have to believe both of these defenses at some point soon are going to play better. I've never seen a Steelers defense quite that bad. I know, it has happened here, a game here, maybe against the Ravens, a game there against the Niners.
Guys,
but I have to believe in general they're going to be better, and I do think so. The same with the Jets. I don't think they're going to be that bad defensively all year.
Disappointing game in Lambeau for the defending division champ, the Detroit Lions. They got totally outplayed. Packers 27, Lions 13.
Game wasn't even that close. Let's be honest. That score came late in the fourth quarter when the game was already out of hand.
Yep.
And Goff looked good at times. It wasn't so much him. He didn't have the greatest protection, but it wasn't so much Goff. I think they averaged 2.5 yards per carry in this game. And if Detroit's not going to be able to run the football, which is really what that entire offense was based on the last couple of years, running the ball and then play action pass off of that, that's going to be a problem. I'm not ready to go there just yet.
Not yet.
I know they're replacing their center, and that's a big deal. It really is a big deal. But I'm not ready to go there just yet to say, ring the bell. This is going to be a horrible season. They're going back to the old Detroit Lions. Let's just slow down. New OC, new defensive coordinator. To be fair, the defense kind of held Green Bay at bay, no pun intended, for a while. And then what happens is what we always talk about, how if the defense is on the field that much, I don't care who you are, eventually you break. And it felt to me like this game was like a 10-3 game, 13-3, whatever. Well, it was low scoring for a while. And then later Green Bay took over, and I think the defense just wore out. So I'm not ready to pack it in on the Lions just yet. They have a big game coming up this week that we'll talk about. It's a big game for both teams we'll talk about. But what do I always say on this podcast? I've been saying it for, I'm going to say 25 years, which is really hurting my soul. Every team makes their biggest improvements between week 1 and week 2. So we'll see. New coordinators, we'll see if they can make some corrections and adjustments going into week 2.
Well, folks, if you had under 24 and a half minutes for Peter to say that, you could cash in your cards. It's one of his favorite things to say. But no, he's right. He's right. To an unbelievable game. You were probably tucked in, dreaming about bourbon and something else. I can't say it publicly.
Yeah, it's just a family show.
41, Baltimore 40. Baltimore have 15 points with about 3 to go, 3 and 4 minutes to go.
6 or 6 minutes to go.
6 minutes to go.
I'll tell you what did happen. I watched the game at halftime. I kind of fell asleep just after the start of the second half. I wake up probably 8 or 9 minutes left, and I see 41-25, and I'm like, fuck this, and went right back to sleep. And then I wake up at like 4:15 and I'm like, let me just check the final. And I'm like, what? Like, are you shitting me? Like, unbelievable. Look, Lamar Jackson is fantastic. Derrick Henry, I think he averaged 11 yards per carry, dude.
That's incredible.
It's just insane. They look great offensively. And as great as Lamar Jackson is, there is no team in the NFL that relies on their quarterback being Superman more than the Buffalo Bills. Like, just by what I said with Derrick Henry, when he goes, he went bananas, and Lamar played well. But the Bills go as Josh Allen goes. They have no other avenue to win football games other than Josh Allen being a goddamn maniac. And it was the same thing here. He threw for 200 and something yards in the fourth quarter, a touchdown pass and 2 touchdown runs. Otherwise, they lose by double digits. They get smacked. So nobody relies on their quarterback more than him, because he's also I think he was a top or second best runner on the team too.
I think what you said about the Jets and Steelers defense with the Ravens, I think they eventually figure it out. I'm nervous with the Bills defense.
I would agree, because of their defensive backfield more than anything.
And I don't think they got the linebackers like they used to either. Like, I know our buddy that we like 58 still there, Milano.
Yeah.
He looks a tad slow. He's coming off injuries galore.
Nonstop.
Joey Bosa, I mean, I didn't hear his name much at all.
By the way, I looked this up at the beginning of this game. Do you know his stats over the last few years?
Not great.
Bro, how about, like, nobody would want him on a team? I think in the last 3 years, he's averaged about 4.5 sacks a season. Last season, I think it was like 2.5. The season before that was like 5.5. And in between there somewhere was like 4.5. That's your last 3 seasons. If you don't believe me, you guys could look it up if you're listening. And you're like, no way, it's Joey Bosa. Go take a look. He's not his brother. Like,
right.
It's not special. And he was running around like a chicken with his head cut off, like totally undisciplined, letting Lamar Jackson get out of the pocket anytime he wanted. Yeah, it just was bad. So it was a little disappointing. And frankly, I'll beat myself up a little bit, because I said it's a nice acquisition for them, 1-year deal. It's kind of a steal. And then I look at the stats and I'm like, not really.
Yeah,
not really. So we'll see if they find ways to use him better or something like that. But you're right. I would be more concerned in Buffalo right now with my defense than if I was Baltimore, because the reality is, like, they had it going for most of the game, at least enough, considering they're playing Buffalo in Buffalo. And then it's just like the wheels fell off.
It got weird. Yeah, it got weird.
Yeah,
right about that.
Turnovers, strange plays. Even I guess at the end of the half, there was a little funkiness with, like, time left on the clock. People were saying, well, if this game was in Baltimore, they would have said the half was over. I don't know, whatever. But it was a little weird. I'd be much more concerned if I was Buffalo. But Jesus Christ, is Josh Allen just freaky, man. But they rely on him like nobody else in the league.
That could play to their downfall at some point too.
It can't go on forever, man. Like, this is such a team sport, and I obviously recognize how important a quarterback position is in football. But dude, you gotta have, like, it can't be Mariano Rivera here just throwing the cutter all the time. Like, that's a once in a lifetime deal. Like, you gotta have a running game. You gotta have something else, man. I don't know. It's just rough. It's rough. But when he does that, like, dude,
well, good news for them. Keon Coleman stepped up. They had a little backup running game step up. Line's still pretty good. So there are things that are there. But
sure.
Monday Night Football to wrap things up. Week 1, tale of 2 halves. JJ McCarthy looked like a first-time starter. A little confused, a little erratic, and then second half, he looked like the guy that I'd known and became to love. And Caleb Williams, the opposite. First half, looked control and then poised and looking like he's maturing, taking the next step. In second half, when Flores dialed up a little defense and momentum started going the other way, I think they had 2 drives that were like 24 seconds long.
Yeah.
And that's not great when you're supposed to hold a lead and then trying to come back from a lead.
I would encourage people to go on YouTube, and I have no idea what the highlights will look like, but go look at the first half again. I don't remember one passing play where Caleb Williams threw it on time. Everything was off of some
running
kind of
around.
scramble.
Yep.
And this is exactly what we were talking about for 2 years now. Like, I've been telling you guys, he just doesn't process quickly. That's what I mean. So what I mean on time is like if it's a 3-step drop, you hit that 3rd step and you let the ball go because you read the defense and you throw it. If it's a 5-step, a 7-step, it means you hit your drop, hitch, step, bump up, and toss and throw it because you made your read. I didn't see the entire second half, but I can tell you I don't believe he even did it one time. I don't believe it happened one time. Now, with that said, there was a couple throws that he made on the run. There was one to what's the kid out of Washington?
Adunze.
There was a throw to Adunze that was about
Sideline?
25 yards down the side and on the run.
Yeah.
He let this fucking ball rip, and it was right on the money. And this is what we were saying. Like, if you're just going to talk about just pure physical skills, like it's there, man. Like, and even the accuracy when he can play. There is real ability there that I may not like saying to Justin Fields or some other guys. Like, but I stand by the fact I don't see a difference. Now Ben Johnson is a fantastic play designer, and he knows exactly who Caleb Williams is, and he'll design in a way that maybe the processing won't matter. Maybe he'll figure out ways to do it where the speed of processing won't matter. But I'm sorry, like it's still not there. He does not really, let it rip on time. He just doesn't. And it causes problems. It caught up everything in the first half, or most of it in first half where they scored was scripted and he looked fine. And then as soon as the script is gone and you're making adjustments, he looks like shit. And it's because now you're making adjustments while your coaches are making adjustments. And it's just not there, The physical traits, I mean, they're there. It's fantastic. But I just think the processing speed is just not there yet.
Bruce Arians was on McAfee before, and he was saying how he doesn't think Ben Johnson and Caleb are going to be a match. Because, like you said, Ben Johnson's offense is play action, and everything's got to be thrown on time and everything.
And timing, yeah.
And smart. And I think Caleb's just a goddamn wild card.
And now
again, it's better, but it's still he thinks it's the Caleb show.
And there are ways to use that. You can so there are two types of how do I say this properly? There are two ways that you process a play. The first one way is you read defenders and then you throw opposite of where defenders are going. That's the easiest way to say it. If he breaks out, if he goes into a certain hole, you throw it into a different hole. So you're reading the defense and then you react to where your receivers are going to be according to where the defense goes. The other way to do it is you have a progression. So I look at 1. If he's there, I give it to him. If he's not, I go to 2. If he's not there, I go to 3. And if not, I take off or I dump it off to a back. Ben Johnson's offense, play action offense in general, has to be read the defense, right? Play action has to be where's the defense, throw where the defense isn't. Ben Johnson's offense in general is a read style defense. Read the safeties, read the corners, read your backers, whatever the case may be. Read them all. And that's just not Caleb's strength. He would have to shift to a progression read where it's 1, then 2, then 3, then either take off or hit the back out of the backfield. And that's hard for a coach to just something you've been doing. You basically perfected it. And now you're going to have to change how you do it. It really can be difficult. I'm not ready to go that far to say it's never going to happen. Because I try to be fair when I make these critiques. He can throw it, man. Like he can really, really sling it. It's pretty when he does it, but he just misses a lot because it's not the processing isn't there. It's the same Zach Wilson thing. He basically to me is Zach Wilson, like same arm, same athletic ability, same processing speed. And because they're the same size, they're both about 6'1", 210, 215. They just both process too slow, a second too slow, but that second is everything. That second changes everything.
On the other side, JJ and O'Connell are going to be fun to watch, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you something, man. I know Super Bowls matter before anything else, and I get that. Kevin O'Connell, I can argue Kevin McConnell just from
O'Connell.
What did I say? O'Connor?
McConnell.
That might have just been the mic. Because I think KOC. As a former player, as a former quarterback, and a former coach, what my eyes tell me is that guy might be the best, if not one of the top 3 coaches in the NFL. I know he doesn't have the Super Bowl rings yet. I've watched him.
He's definitely top 5.
I've watched him go through 3 different quarterbacks, none of who anyone thought were special or top in the league. Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and now JJ McCarthy. He's just that good. He's just that good. And the players play for him. Flores is a good coach. Like, I just think Kevin O'Connell is a really good coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. I hope JJ is as good as he looked in the second half, because O'Connell needs the Super Bowl or Super Bowls to validate what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I'm watching year after year, week after week. How about I put it to you this way? If I won the lottery and I could buy a football team and now I can hire any coach in the league, I'd really have a hard time not taking him.
I think
over other guys who have won Super Bowls, I'd have a really hard friggin' time not taking him.
Okay. Right now, momentum. Would you take him or Tomlin or Harbaugh? For me, it's a no-brainer.
I would absolutely take him over Tomlin. Harbaugh.
How many games have Harbaugh blown? And excluding the other day, but like,
I know, but then you could say Kevin O'Connell blew the last 2 games of last season. I mean, they didn't win.
Yeah,
those
but
games.
also Harbaugh had the 2-time MVP. He's got fucking Sam Darnold.
I get that. I'm just saying, I have a lot of respect.
Motherfucker. Let's go.
And by the way, they're so different. The two of them are so different in their styles and the team that they're building and all that kind of stuff. So it really is quite the dichotomy. But that one's a tougher one. That's a tougher one.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head,
give me a couple. Yeah, give me a couple.
Off the guys that haven't won Super Bowls, Zach Taylor.
I take Kevin O'Connell.
Sean McDermott.
Kevin O'Connell.
Jim Harbaugh.
That's a tough one.
Tough one, right?
Yeah.
Dan Campbell.
I take Kevin O'Connell. I take Kevin O'Connell.
Kyle Shanahan.
Here's why I take Kevin O'Connell in that scenario. I love Dan Campbell. But every time you win, if you're Dan Campbell, every time you win, your coordinators go. And now you're looking for a new coordinator and everything starts from scratch.
That's a great point.
Whereas with Kevin O'Connell, everything stays the same.
He's the game. Yeah, he's the guy.
And so Shanahan's similar, right? It doesn't matter who the OC is. Like, it's because it's Shanahan's thing. That's a good question. Shanahan, that's a good question.
Harbaugh. That's a good one too, right?
John Harbaugh?
Jim.
Jim's a good. That's a tough one. Shanahan's a tough one. I think I would take O'Connell.
I mean,
That's a tough one too.
Jim's in his mid-60s. O'Connell's probably, 44? Too, like, I mean.
At the most, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not even that. Who knows?
I mean, I can't.
I know. I think that's because you can't go Sirianni. Sirianni's won a ring. Reed's won a ring.
But I would take him over Sirianni.
You would, huh?
Kevin O'Connell? Oh my God! Yeah.
I know.
Not over Andy Reid. I'm not ready.
No, I'm not doing that either.
I'm not ready for that.
And how about Sean Payton?
They're so similar,
aren't they?
Yeah. Both kind of quarterback whisperers. Both great offensive minds. Both good leaders. Both good personnel guys. That's a tough one. One. There are a handful that it's a tough decision, but I think.
But that's how much he's risen. We're giving.
That's how much. How much respect I have that I would even put him in the same breath as Sean Payton, who has a Super Bowl, has been uber successful in this league with Drew Brees. Like, the fact that I would have to pause for a second tells you everything you need to know about what I think about Kevin O'Connell. Tremendous.
All right, you have anything else for review here, bud?
I wanted to point out Michael Penix's numbers: 27 of 42, 298 and a touchdown, no interceptions, which is big. How about the Raiders? Geno Smith in a nice road win, which a lot of people hyping up New England this year, and I think they're better, but go on the road. Geno goes 24 of 34 for 362 and a touchdown. And that's what Genti only had like 20-something yards rushing. Everybody was like ready to crown him rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I think New England has a good defense. But yet Geno stepped up and produced 362 yards is freaking unbelievable. We talked about Caleb Williams. That's all I got for the review.
I got one more thing. Panthers, Giants, and Dolphins. Oh, my God.
Dolphins is
a problem.
We talked hot seat.
We had this come. Yeah, that made us look really good. Holy shit.
Oh, God damn. Yeah. It was bad. Daniel Jones did something. And by the way, do we look right about Daniel Jones too?
I got to tell you, I'm rooting for him. I there's something about him I like. I don't know.
Well, because you know what? Go watch that game. The guy looks like a fucking quarterback.
He does, sure does.
I'm not saying he's great. I'm not even saying he's top 10, but he looks like a pro quarterback. He threw beautiful. He throws a beautiful ball. He can run. There's a lot to like there. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to rely on him, what was the one thing I said to you that at first you were shocked and you were like, wait a minute, maybe you're right. If you put him on the 49ers, I think he would do really, really well with that coach and that system. And you're not putting Josh Allen type pressure on him. That's kind of what the Colts do. They have a good running game, good offensive line, decent weapons, good tight end. I hit a big bet. Tyler Warren over 3.5 receptions. He had 3 on the first drive. Yeah, I felt pretty good about that. So yeah, Daniel Jones looked good, man, and he did something that hasn't. I don't know if it's never been done ever or not since 1990 or something like that. They scored on every single possession. That even includes no kneel downs, no halftime, miss a field goal, just run the clock out. They scored on every goddamn possession. It's either never happened or not since 90 or 91, something like that. But kudos to him, man. That's good for him. We'll see if it continues, but good for him.
It makes the decision between him and Anthony Richardson a no-brainer.
Oh, so easy right now. Yeah, there is no more controversy, that's for sure. But Miami is just in purgatory right now. Holy shit. All
the positive energy that we heard up here, for me at least with the Giant fans, that went out the window real fucking quick.
Because Russ stinks.
Russ stinks. You know what?
They've already announced that he's starting next week. I don't want to put Jackson Dart in.
That's the problem.
Well, why not start Jameis Winston?
They're going to rush him. They're going to rush him and fuck him up.
I don't see. Just put Jameis in there. You'll get touchdown passes.
Jameis will be fun. At least he'll move the ball.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, you'll get touchdown passes. You'll get movement.
And Neighbors,
he can push the ball downfield. Neighbors
in fantasy, so throw him the fucking ball, please.
But dude,
Russ is at the point now, dude. He gets back on his last step, and he's already looking at the line. It's over. When you're doing that, it's over, dude.
I was talking about this with a colleague yesterday. Have you ever seen such a precipitous drop in production and even just quality from any quarterback ever that went to not just one Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowls? Do you remember anybody falling off a cliff like this?
Brady was still good at 45.
Even Peyton Manning on Denver, they sat him for a couple weeks, but they found a way to make it work. And that was because of injuries. This is just
Rodgers looked great. 41, 42.
I've never seen anything like this, man. He is
Phillip Rivers wasn't that bad. Matt Ryan wasn't that bad.
This last year with the Colts was actually pretty damn good. They went to the playoffs.
Dude, it's
bad. It's bad. It's tough to watch. It's very cringy to watch. Throwing a ball out of the back of the end zone.
I don't even know if he's a great teammate. You hear stories about him.
I know.
But here's the problem that Dable and Shane have a problem now because their asses are back against the wall here.
Sure.
And now you traded up to take Dart. Do you throw him to the Wolves?
I hate that idea.
I hate it too.
That's why I'm saying put Jameis in there.
I understand bringing juice, but Jameis brings enough juice.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Bring some interceptions too. I get that. But
at least it's something. Ball, dude. It's not going 3 and out and oh my God.
I couldn't agree with you more on that, man.
I had the Giants plus 18 in a teaser. I was fucking sweating bullets.
Jesus Christ.
All right, pal. Week 2, Thursday night, Washington Commanders at the Green Bay Packers, both 1-0.
Yeah.
Commanders, tough read. They're going to play the Giants. They're playing with their food halfway through the game because they knew they weren't fucking giving up the lead.
Yeah.
Packers look great, dominant. Love looked better than I thought he was going to look. Micah on a pitch count, probably be more snaps this week. Rashawn Gary on the other side helps from having Micah there. Secondary looks good.
Where's this game?
It's in Green Bay, sir.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how the Commanders plan on the road. Short week.
Yeah.
New running back situation. I think they're starting to find a guy there that fits Kingsbury's offense, which is why they traded Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Another week with McLaurin. Him and Daniels look a little off, obviously, for not having to practice.
Debo
looked good, man. Debo looked better than I thought he would. He looked more in shape and doing what he does, the reverses and the tough catches over the middle. Zach Ertz still going strong at whatever he is at tight end. That's a good player, a good leader to have there. A really good game Thursday night, man. I'm excited to see this one.
I agree with you. In the past, we've gotten some real clunkers on Thursday night. This looks to be a really good one. I also agree with you. Love looked really good. And look, the reality is when he's healthy, he's Brett Favre. He's
He
more
looks
Brett Favre
enormous
than Aaron
in the pocket,
Rodgers.
doesn't he? Holy shit.
I know. But it's also because when he throws the ball, it looks like he's just flicking it.
Yeah.
Like the ball just whizzes out of his hand. Almost, it looks very effortless. It actually, that part of it looks like Aaron Rodgers, where it's like, how the hell did he get so much on it? How many times he throws off his back foot and just throws it with fucking stank on it? It's unbelievable. I would tend to lean Green Bay in this game because to me they looked way more complete, and I can judge them based off how they played against the Lions a lot more than I can judge Washington based on how they played against the Giants. So, the Giants have a good defense. I think we all agree they have a good defense. So scoring-wise, that was good for Washington, but it wasn't easy. I just don't know about their defense. Their defense struggled last year, and I'm just having a hard time saying, oh, yeah, their defense has improved because they did well against the Giants and Russell Wilson. So I'm just not there yet. So I would tend to lean Green Bay here, but I agree with you. It'll be fun. It'll be a good game to watch. And as far as Thursday night games go, this was fantastic. Yeah.
Peter, I have breaking news, and we will go to this game right now. Philadelphia at Kansas City.
Breaking news.
Jalen Carter has avoided suspension.
Okay.
For the spitting incident. He's
I'm hoping there's a hefty fine, though.
He's getting a hefty fine. I kind of disagree here. I think he should have gotten an additional game. Because they said that, oh, you already served the suspension. Dude, you can't spit on a fucking other human being like that. I'm sorry. You have to make an example. And not that this happens every week or whatever.
Right.
I get it. I get it.
I'm wondering what the league views as worse. Like a cheap shot punch,
targeting, for Christ's sake, like where you're just playing football.
Or spitting. I don't know, because you can look and you can say spitting, you're not hurting anybody. It can't actually hurt somebody.
But it's the
that's what I mean by like, how does the league view it?
I hear you.
Is the potential to knock somebody out of future games more penalty worthy than spitting on someone? The disrespect that comes with spitting on somebody, I don't know. And I'm genuinely asking a question, like what's more important to the league? It seems like the spitting is less. I bet you the players would probably disagree.
I know.
I bet you the players would disagree.
Because I think 90% of the time you're not trying to hurt somebody.
Most of the targeting penalties you're not.
You're just playing football. A guy changes his head angle or whatever it is. The spitting thing, you knew exactly what you were doing, dude. Like
absolutely. That's why I mean more like, hey, if you sucker punch somebody or something like that, we've seen guys like stomp on somebody on the field.
Yeah.
What's worse? I don't know. Listen, I'm the first one to say, you fucking spit on me, man. You better
run away.
You better have a bat or something because we're going. But
and I'm not saying 6 games, but I think another game would have been. I think.
To be honest, like fines for these guys. What are you going to fine him? $500,000 for some liquid that left his mouth?
What are you going to make him live in my house for fucking a week?
I was saying anything less than that, he doesn't even feel it. So what are we even talking about? So,
but back to football. Chiefs are must win here a little bit.
Yeah, there's a couple games this week that I look at and I say, is it too early to say must win? But can they start 0-2? They can start 0-2.
They absolutely can start 0-2.
As we're sitting here right now, as I said to you before, Philadelphia is a significantly more complete team, and Kansas City's got some issues, man. Like Kansas City's got some real friggin' issues. They're going to struggle to score all year, and that's with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. That says something about their personnel. So, Kansas City's probably favoring this game. What, 2.5, something like that?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think 1.5 maybe.
I would probably lean Eagles here.
I really would.
I really would. There's an argument to be made that they kind of laid an egg in the first one, and they're going to come back and fix that. I wouldn't sit here and tell you that Kansas City laid an egg. Like they played hard. They were in the game. They just lost. Like I
just don't know. Yeah, like you said,
I don't look at that as laying an egg. Yeah,
I don't know if they have the horses anymore.
That's what I mean. That's why I think I lean Eagles here.
Yeah. tough to lay points in or to bet against KC in Arrowhead. But
yeah, that's why I lean.
You know,
one
the,
of my picks.
You know the onions I have, but I'm not doing that either.
Fishy.
Another back against the wall spot to Detroit, the Bears at the Lions.
Yeah, so this is one of the ones that I wrote down where I said, is there such, you just said it last game, and I'm going to say it in this one. Is there such a thing as a must-win game in the second game of the season? But the reality is whoever loses this game starts the season in division 0-2. That's a lot to come back from, man. If you're 0-2, I don't care which team it is. If you're 0-2 in your division, and those are 2 division losses, by the way, I think at that point you're just playing for a playoff spot. You're not going to win your division. I think that's a lot. You got 4 more division games. That's it. Like, I think that's a lot to ask to come back from. So if you're, and I'm thinking more Lions here. Like, if you're the Lions and you lose this game, I don't really think you're in contention to win the division. Like, if you can put futures bets at that point, then you go with Green Bay hardcore, because you're not coming back from 0-2 in a division to win the division. You can still make the playoffs. I would say you can still make the playoffs, but must-win game 2 of the NFL season. Like, does it get any better?
I love the NFL.
Oh my god.
I think the defense hung around. The offense needs to goddamn figure it out.
For
Lions.
Yeah, sure. And look, new offensive coordinator is one thing. Green Bay's good. Like, is it such a crime?
On the road, right. I know.
Game 1, hot crowd, on the road, at Lambeau. Is it such a crime that they struggled? Like, I don't think that's that crazy. And against Chicago, you're not playing that Green Bay defense. So I think it'll look better. Will they win? That I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
We're fans of 2 like iconic college football teams and good stadiums and a lot. Is there anything prettier than Lambeau Field at about 6:00 p.m.?
Oh, dude,
with the shadows and
it's like it's football.
Oh my god!
Like when you picture, football season starting soon.
You could smell the tailgate outside.
That's what you see. Yeah, that's what you picture in your head. Yeah, for sure.
Gorgeous, man. And speaking of another, the opposite of a great team, a dump in the Meadowlands around the corner from me.
It's gross.
The Buffalo Bills at the Jets.
It looks like a tuna can. The whole stadium looks like a can of tuna.
It looks like a window shade blinds.
It's bizarre. It's terrible. Great design, great architecture.
With 2 fucking New York franchises, New Jersey franchises, you build that?
The best they could do.
The money, that's the best you got?
Build the Roman Coliseum, dude. Why are you building a tuna can? I just don't understand it. It's weird.
No retractable roof for all the concerts and shit.
So dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah. Endless money to work with, too.
Anywho, back to football. I have something to say about this game a little bit. So
what are we talking? Jets, Buffalo?
Jets, Buffalo. The Bills play not so great at the Meadowlands. A lot of Jet fans are feeling pretty good about themselves, and they should.
Feeling good might be a bit much.
Feeling optimistic?
Thinking you got something. Optimistic is fair.
Thank you.
Optimistic is a better word, I think. You're 0-1. You lost a game that you should have won. You shouldn't feel too good.
Buffalo should be 0-1 too, but
right. So here's what you can consider here. Short week because you played late on Monday, and you got to hit the road, and it was a wild emotional win. And now you got to go on the road. And on top of it, you're going on the road against a team that ran the ever-loving shit out of the ball against a good defense.
That's what I was just going to say. He's still running.
He might hit his face on a goalpost. Yeah. That's the key to this game. You'll know in the first quarter how this game is going to go, because if the Jets, if I told you it was I'm not sure if it was the Jets offensive line or was it the Steelers defense in game 1, because what do we have to compare it to, right? But if the Jets come out and run the ball against Buffalo, which is a significantly weaker run defense than the Steelers, if they even have anywhere near the running game they had, we got a very interesting game, because it's just a tough ass to come off that game after a late Sunday night and hit the road. I know it's not a long trip, but it's still a flight. Be careful here. Be careful. This is like what we call upset alert for sure.
Sneaky good one in Indianapolis after the Colts put a pounding
You
on
gotta
the
wonder,
Falcons.
yeah.
The Denver Broncos, who did not look great either. Well, their defense is fantastic, but Bo Nix and I thought Champagne had a horrible game the other day.
Dude, the defense had Cam Ward just
Oh,
running for his life. By the way, I think he's going to be very good.
I agree.
I think he's going to be very
good.
There
were definitely some signs there.
Yes.
Guys dropped a lot of balls on him. Their running game's mediocre at best.
And he doesn't give a shit about the rush either.
Coach is mediocre at best too.
Maybe. I might cut him a little slack. Yeah, that was probably one of the top 3 defenses in the league.
And that's a tough opener on the road against that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So I'll cut him a little slack.
But I think Bo will be better. I think Champagne will be better, obviously, and I think the defense isn't going anywhere yet with no major injuries. Knock on wood. Let's see what Daniel Jones got now, bro. You know, it's a big defense coming into town there.
One of the coolest things about week 2 in the NFL is we get to answer questions about, is what we saw in week 1 real? You know what I mean? Now, I certainly don't expect the Colts to play Denver. I don't care where the game is. Go play Denver, and you're going to score on every possession. So that's not what I mean by real. But, like, can you move the ball? Can you score? Can you look?
Can Jones be as tough again as he was?
Yeah. Can you look good? Can you look good? So that's what'll be interesting to me. I don't expect them to look like they did last week, but can you look competent? Can you look similar? You know, maybe I suspect they're going to punt a few more times, but can you look similar? Can you be consistent? What do we talk about all the time, whether it's Kyler Murray or any of these guys? Like, can you be consistent week in and week out? That's what I think you're looking for more than anything.
Sunday Night Football, JJ and primetime again, hosting the Atlanta Falcons.
Pressure on this kid, huh? This is another one. Like, wow. Man, if you're Atlanta, a tough game, you played well, but you lose. And now, is it in Atlanta or is it in Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Like, now you're going to go on the road, maybe lose this game. Now you're 0-2. And maybe you played really well in both of those games, but yet you still lost.
3 in both games. Yeah.
Like, what? Like, thank you, NFL, for the fan. Like, we're getting like really important, like, it's crazy to say this, but like really important matchups and really important games. Week 2? What? After like having some really great games week 1. So it's pretty wild, but it'll be interesting. You're going to get a pretty good pass rush against Michael Penix. He had like a plus passer rating against the blitz this week. So he reacts well to the blitz, and it's pretty incredible considering he's only got like 3 or 4 starts under his belt. So we'll see how he looks on the road. This will be quite the test for him. And for JJ, it'll be a bit of a relief because I don't think Atlanta has quite the defense that Chicago, not that Chicago has a great pass rush, but they got a better defense than Atlanta does. So it'll be nice for them.
Well, I
if they can get the running game going.
I think a relief too in the fact, like mentally, you know, all the pressure week 1, haven't played in so many.
Got that first game out of the way.
Game out of the way on the road in your hometown with a win.
Yep.
So I think now you can just settle back in and just play football now.
I will say this too, man. The guy's a freaking winner. You look at his last 2 years at Michigan, 1 loss. And you look at the game. I don't know if you saw the quote Kevin O'Connell said at halftime. He said, "Go out there and win us this game." Like, he expected JJ to go out and win this game. I think there's a mentality there. And I suspect not only did the coach think it, but now his own teammates believe it. Yeah. And how important is that? We talk about that all the time, how important that is. So, this would be a tough one for Atlanta, but it's the NFL. You never know.
You're right. College football. We'll open up with some.
I just want to say,
go ahead.
There was one more thing that I wanted to bring up in a preview. Who are Chargers playing?
They're playing the Raiders Monday night in the second game. There's a doubleheader next Monday night.
Right. In the past, there's the only reason I bring this up. In the past, this would be a spot that the Chargers would kind of lay an egg. They like show us how gritty they are, how good they are, how physical they are, and we're like, "Oh, dude, of course they're going to beat the Raiders." And then they kind of don't. And as we're sitting here talking about Jim Harbaugh and how he's developed this culture, and he always does. This is the game, like a game that people would just assume they're going to win, that in the past they would not. Do they win this game? Like, I know people are literally like, "Oh, it's a big game because the Raiders." Like, no, I just mean, can they break their own trend?
Yeah.
Can they break their historical trend here? And that's what if they win this game, God forbid they win it kind of going away, you have something.
They were the biggest
right.
letdown team for years, dude.
Always them.
Right.
To be honest with you, them and the Jets. The Jets were classic for like winning a home game against a team they shouldn't beat, and then go out and play like a sub 500 Chargers team and lose by 30. You're like, or go back out and lose to the Raiders.
Play a bad Lion team back in the day.
Like what? Come on, man. You can't do that if you're a good team. So this is one of those spots that I say, Jim, show us that you have created the culture that you want here. Go out, win this game, and frankly, go win it handily.
I agree, sir. College football, Norman, Oklahoma. Michigan lays an egg. Oklahoma 24, Michigan 13. That I think I said this last week that I expect to win this game. I did not, but there are some red flags that I see in this game that makes me extremely nervous.
There are red flags for me. If you're talking Michigan, all their red flags are on the offensive side of the ball. What I saw,
tackling was an issue. They missed a lot of tackles.
They missed tackles, but they didn't whiff.
But they were there, though.
They were there. And so what I was going to say is, like, both of these teams have really fast physical defense. Yeah. This is the best Oklahoma defense I've seen in a while.
Since Venables has been there, for sure.
Yeah, and you think
as head coach, not as the DC
as head coach at Oklahoma, and what the hell is his name was there before?
Stoops?
No. After Stoops.
Lincoln
Riley, when he was there, they shit weren't known for defense. So yeah, you'd probably have to go back to Stoops, one of Stoops's like championship years.
Coordinators.
Correct. To remember like that Oklahoma defense was fucking moving. And the other thing that they did, and so did Michigan, by the way, both of these teams were really great with penetration from the defensive line. Like, God, there was an Oklahoma guy in the backfield on like every fucking play, whether it was a running play or passing play.
That's what scares me.
Yeah, so both of them were really good defensively and really fast defensively. So there's a lot there, but there was some real red flags on
the thing that I got. Listen, I know Bryce's first start on the road, and I know we made all the money. I get the whole.
It's a lot to ask for a kid.
All the rival fans are going to go. Listen, all the money is bank account, whatever. He's still fucking 18.
Yeah, he barely.
No, the coach, the offense coordinator. Can we take the training wheels off? He's not Davis Warren. He's a fucking Mustang, dude. Let him fucking play.
Yeah, I agree.
Channing Goodwin was great in the first game. He got one fucking target. Yeah. Come on, bro. What are we doing? And then Michigan's the only fucking team in the country, and this is speaking from the heart here, that loses their start tight end Wednesday in practice. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? Like, yeah, it's laughable at this point, but that's like how I feel you with the Jets. Like, it just whatever happens.
How? Yeah, you're just like how? Well, again, ABT gets hurt the 2 days before the season over. You're like how? Exactly. A torn tricep in practice? What? But yeah, I totally understand.
But the sky's not falling. They're gonna figure some shit out. Yeah. The only thing that scares me too, like Sharon suspended for the next 2.
But who they playing?
Well, they got Central, and then they got at Nebraska.
That'll be tougher.
That's tough.
Nebraska's improving.
That's tougher. But
the other side of it is Mateer.
Oh my God! What a
he might be. First of all, he launched himself into the Heisman candidate list. Yes. Okay, and look, it's very early in the season. But what I will say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's the best quarterback. I'm not going to tell you he's a Heisman. He is probably the most fun player to watch, though. His change of direction shit, I'm just going to keep it real. For a white dude, is really unbelievable, man. Like, I saw him at least 3 or 4 times. Like, he starts one direction, literally jams on the brakes, changes direction, and takes off with acceleration. And then his ability to throw with different arm angles and fucking let her rip. Like, he's definitely has a I don't give an F. Yeah. Brett Favre kind of feel to him. And as I texted you while we were watching that game, like, it also means be ready because there's definitely going to be some turnovers this year. And I wouldn't be shocked if they come in bunches at times because he really has no fear. But lordy, he's just fun to watch, man.
I agree with you. Let me just add one more thing too. With all the people that think Michigan's going to stink or whatever with the $1 million quarterback. Mateer and his offensive coordinator have been together 3 years.
Yes, they were together at Washington State.
At Wazoo twice, and now this is year 3.
Yeah,
this is Wonderwood and fucking Chip Lindsey's second game. Everybody calm
and he's
down.
18, right?
Calm down.
The other thing about Mateer that I like, and as far as like him proceeding to the next level, he's thick. Like, he's a wide body. Like, he's muscular. He's
a good player,
only
man.
1.
He impressed me.
Yeah, I was really impressed. And, he was under pressure a lot and still made some really great throws. I mean, some really great throws. Some of them where you're just like, bro, like hold your
dropping a fucking
breath.
basket. Yeah.
Yeah, like holy shit. But for the most part, he was one of the more impressive players over the weekend. And especially considering the opponent and how good Michigan's defense is, I was pretty impressed with him.
A game, my hat's off to you, sir. You texted me at about 3:29 Eastern time Saturday. Like, I'm going to take Oregon minus 27.5. Well, you could have laid 62.5, and I think it would have been fine. Oregon 69, Oklahoma State 3.
What's scary is it could have been worse.
And I think it could have been worse. And I think he was almost trying to make it worse. Landing's a fucking psychopath.
I think he was trying to send a message, and that's why I liked the bet. And I think Gundy knew that he fucked up too, because later in the week, like he made that statement about how Oregon spends so much money and we only got a tenth of what they spend. And later in the week, when he caught some heat, he was like, "Hey, I meant that as a compliment. I wish I had that kind of money to spend." And maybe he's right, but it's sure shit didn't come across that way when he first said it. And dude, you lit the candle already, so it was too late. And I don't know if you saw the pregame handshake.
I did not.
Lanning ran up to him with a big smile on his face and like shook his hand and gave him the old pat on the shoulder. "How you doing, coach?" Like he couldn't wait to see him and smile at him, as if to say, "Oh, wait till you see." They scored two touchdowns in like the first 3 or 5 plays, something like that. They were pretty much unstoppable. They got a lot of talent on that team. That defense is also very friggin' good and fast. I like their quarterback. He's young and a little green, but I like him.
No pun intended.
I'm just I need to see it up against
Penn State, Ohio State,
a good team before I'm ready to tell you like, oh yeah, he's really, really good. Against bad teams, he's really, really good. He can sling it too, very accurate. And what I do like about him more than anything, real level-headed demeanor, not too high, not too low.
Very all those guys at Oregon has been that way. Bo, Gabriel, and him, they're all kind of like the same.
I know they got a lot of money over there to spend. They got all that Nike money over there to spend. But Lanning's a good coach. He's a good coach. Good recruiter, good coach.
2 questions.
Yeah.
I'll hit that one first. The Boar's in trouble in Alabama. They call Dan Lanning?
I can be honest with you. If I'm Lanning, I'm not doing it.
I agree with you totally.
We talked about this last week. Look where the money is. The money is not in the SEC. These teams, other than Texas and maybe Oklahoma, because they also have oil money, but not as much as Texas. But these teams are struggling. I'll give Colin Cowherd some credit. He put it this way. In the Big Ten, you have CEOs, billionaires, and also like you have a lot more of them. Like more people graduate and go to school at Michigan and graduate from Michigan than say Alabama. Their schools are just larger and their alumni are just richer. Like CEOs, they own companies, whereas in Alabama they own car salesman shops. You know what I mean? Like it's just there is less money in the SEC, and I don't know how sustainable it is in the SEC. So if I'm Lanning, why the hell would I go to Alabama and get money from car dealerships when I can get almost unlimited funds from Nike? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me to leave at this point. This is just purely a money issue. Obviously, the SEC is fantastic, but you're starting to see this delineation between the teams and the schools and frankly, the states that have a lot of money and the ones that don't have as much.
Second question. Is it time for Mike Gundy to ride into the sunset?
I don't like shipping legends off quite that quickly, but he needs to make some improvements. There needs to be some improvements. The problem you have here is Gundy leaves. Oklahoma State is not exactly a destination. Like it's just not. Like if you're that good, you go to Oklahoma, you go to Texas. So I don't know exactly what kind of money they have in NIL kind of stuff, but T. Boone Pickens is dead, and I don't know. It sounds silly, but that gave them a huge advantage over some other schools because Pickens put so much money into their facilities and stuff like that. Like they had great facilities before anybody had great facilities.
Yep.
And it made a big difference in getting some of those guys to go there. And I just don't know. So that's the question. Like, okay, yeah, you want to get rid of Gundy. No problem. I understand it. He's kind of lost in time. Who are you bringing in?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's an improvement. That's going to be an improvement. That's a tougher question. You could get worse. I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but things could get worse. I think with him, I think he could right the ship because he's done it before. If he's going to have to embrace things that I know he doesn't like NIL and portal, and he did embrace the portal a little more this year. You're going to have to, dude. This is the way the game is played. Like it, don't like it. It really doesn't matter. I don't like the fact that men have to ask women out all the time. It would be really nice for us if women had to ask us out instead. But I don't get to make those decisions. That's how it works. So play the game as it's played, not as we want it to be.
Illinois 45, Duke 19. Illinois is better than I thought.
They are, and this game was close for a while, and they pulled away in the second half. But
Altmaier's pretty good. Quarterback's pretty good.
But it is a really cool thing. We're talking about Harbaugh, but it's a really cool thing to watch a coach impose his personality on a program. Nick Saban did in Alabama, and I'm certainly not trying to compare Bielema to Nick Saban. I'm just saying, like, when you see a coach, you can say with Dan Lanning, you can say with Dabo Sweeney, when you see a coach impose his personality, his style, his culture on a program, it makes a friggin' difference. Like when all the players are embracing that style, that culture, it changes things. It wasn't that long ago. Illinois was really bad.
I know.
Like really bad. We're talking like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They were really bad. And now they're top 15.
Yeah.
That's really something else, man. And an explosive offense at times. Like, wow. Okay. And there's another one. You got some Illinois money, some Chicago money that's there to be spent. Just be careful.
Some good alums here too, man. Illinois has some players.
Be careful. Man. Be careful as this thing moves forward.
Upset in Starkville, Mississippi.
The
Sun Devils go down 24-20. Man,
this was a shocker to me.
That place is tough to play at night.
It really is.
Cowbells,
those
dude.
kettlebells, cowbells.
God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I picked Arizona State to win the Big 12. Again, this doesn't count in the conference record.
Sure.
And they had a lead late. They fought back and had the lead late, and Mississippi State threw a bomb. That coach for Arizona State's scrappy, man. He's got like that little he's that next annoying little prick that
he won me over last year when he took his win bonus and gave it all to the secondary staff.
I forgot about that.
I do root for him. And Levitt's a good quarterback, but they did struggle. I'd have to go back and look to see, did they lose some guys on the offensive line? Because he just was running for his life a lot. And I don't know that I thought that Mississippi State was like the best defense in the world. Right. So what does that mean moving forward? We'll see. But there were some struggles there, but there's also some grit. And you're right. That's a tough place. That's a tough place to go play. And look, I don't care how bad you are. If you're at home and you're in the game late, you're going to play different than, if you're down by 30 at home late. So, second half. So, you get a little boost of energy when it's a close game, or if you're winning at home in the second half, even if you are underdog, even if you're not expected to win the game. In fact, maybe you have more of a boost because you weren't expected to win and you're like, fuck that, we're here. Let's make it happen. And that's what you got out of the Bulldogs in this game.
Yep. Peter, is Billy Napier's office getting repainted and recarpeted as we speak? South Florida 18, Florida 16.
Let's look at the positive side and look at South Florida here. In their first 2 games of the season, they played 2 ranked teams, Boise State, which is always known for having an explosive offense, and Florida, which is an SEC offense, and they gave up 16-7 in those 2 games. Pretty impressive. So at the very least, I'm going to say South Florida is a better team, and more specifically, a better defense than anybody realized. It's one thing to do it against Boise. It's another thing to do it back-to-back weeks to go at the Swamp and make that happen like that. You got to give them some credit. But yeah, if you're Napier, you can't lose that game, dude. That cannot happen under any circumstances. No. And what's worse, so you got to put it in a bigger perspective sometimes. Miami kind of looks like the old Miami. Florida State kind of looks like the old Florida State. Both of those teams have a little swagger going on right now, a little level of confidence, a little like cockiness going on. And here's Florida that just lost to South Florida in the swamp. Like, what? It's not just the loss, it's how it looks overall. And it's bad, man.
Bad.
That's bad. And what's so crazy is they had such a resurgence kind of last year's second half, or maybe last 2/3 of the season, played well, played tough against really quality opponents. Ugh, boy, this is
bad.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that costs you your job. And what's worse is it just kills any kind of momentum. It just kills momentum or self-belief, as your team. So, and they have the hardest. This was the easy game. They have the hardest ranked schedule in all of college football this year. So, like, this was the easy part of the schedule, dog. Like, it gets harder from here, not easier.
Urban Meyer on line one. Anybody?
Oh, my.
Anybody?
You think they could pull the trigger or not? You think he'd want to do that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
I think
gotta make the call, though.
I think the shit might have sailed there.
You got to make the call. Maybe they call Campbell at Iowa State.
We figured. I want him to take somebody's job. We've been hearing fucking
enough of this, right?
Enough. Yeah, Jesus. Baylor 45, SMU 40. I'm sorry, Baylor 48, SMU 45, and an absolute shootout.
Yeah, and this is a bad loss for SMU, by the way. They were up by 2 touchdowns late and coughed it up in the fourth quarter. Unacceptable. Look, this was a win that Baylor absolutely had to have. They go on the road, tough team, ranked team, playoff team from last year. So I don't care how you slice it. I don't care what it looked like early in the game. Aranda, the head coach, needed a win here. And to be totally honest with you, they were in this for a while, and then SMU pulled away, and then you're like, nah, there's no way. This is bad. Aranda is going to be on a hot seat as well, with Napier and stuff like that. And I'll be damned, do they get late scores and then win the damn game in overtime? I still think SMU is a pretty damn good team. They got a really fun offense. They can score a lot of points, and I think they'll be fine in the ACC.
Quarterback was gimpy at the end of the game too, right?
He was. That had something to do with it, and he's a really nice player. But this was a huge win for Baylor.
Needed it.
They needed it really bad.
You have anything else, pal?
I have a couple things here. I just want to point out, I know Texas won like 38-7 against
San Jose State, I think.
San Jose State, right? But there was a clue in the last 2 minutes of this game that tells you something, that tells you that Texas, Sarkisian probably wasn't happy about this game, that they don't think it was as wonderful as a lot of, they turned it around. There's like a minute and a half left in this game. Backups are in, and they're still throwing the football. Why do you think that is? You want that score to be you want to get it into the 40s so that it looks a little better. We talked about San Jose State last week. I mentioned how they were like double-digit favorites and lost outright at home. Like, ooh, you can't do that kind of shit. So now I'm supposed to be impressed that you scored 38 points against a team that just lost as a double-digit home favorite outright? Nah. And Sarkisian knew that too. In fact, we were texting early in the game. San Jose State took their first possession right down the field against that Texas defense. Got a field goal, I think, or a field goal attempt, and then they did score one touchdown. But Arch Manning is not great yet. I'm not trying to tell you all the same problems you saw in the first game were still there in the second game. Late on reads, not willing to let it rip to guys that were open, not finding the open guy, and then some bad throws. Now, playing San Jose State, so there's just way too much talent on Texas for San Jose State to compete, and they crushed them. There's issues there, dude, and those issues have not been solved for Arch Manning yet. So, again, I'm not trying to tell you he's not going to be great. I'm just telling you he's not yet. That's all. He's just not there yet. Texas Tech, I mentioned them in the preseason because they spent upwards of $30 million on their football program this year in NIL. They're scary, bro. Baron Morton is a real quarterback. He's got a fucking hose for an arm, and they got some wideouts that can absolutely fly. They protect the shit out of them, and even their defense is wildly improved. I can't remember in my lifetime ever. Yeah, I can't thinking of a time where Texas Tech had a good defense. They've had good offenses. Fuck, Patrick Mahomes was their quarterback. Baker Mayfield was their quarterback. Like, they've had some guys that can.
Kingsbury was
their quarterback and their coach. Like, they've had offenses, and they still do, and it's better than it's been. But now They even got a little bit of a defense. I'm telling you right now, I don't know where the game is. I hope it's at Texas Tech. I think there's a real chance that they could win this division. I really do think there's a real chance
That'd
they
be
could
awesome.
win the Big 12.
You should throw a couple of bucks on that one, bro.
What's that?
You should throw a couple of bucks on that.
I may. The last thing we talked about South Florida. Last thing I'll say is, Nico Ayamea Via, whatever, bro. He may have made one of the, if not the worst decisions in the history of college football, leaving Tennessee over money, over a couple bucks, to then go play. They'd lost to Utah and UNLV. Bad. They look terrible. It's a bad team. Their coach can barely put a sentence together. And what's worse is that the UCLA quarterback that was there before Nico, he left, goes to Tennessee, and they look better. Tennessee looks better with Aguilar. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, you're right.
Then they looked with Nico. So now they're sitting there like, shit, we just saved like $6 million and we're better. And I'm just telling you, be careful about Tennessee. They look fast as shit. I've said this for 2 years in a row now, so who knows what that means. But they look really athletic and fast. It's been against bad teams, so we got to see it against a good team. But they look very athletic and fast. But I promise you, they don't even remember Nico. They don't even remember him because they look better than they've looked in the last couple years.
Week 3. Number 12, Clemson, who's looked awful, at Georgia Tech, who we kind of like.
Could be an interesting game.
Clemson was losing to
Troy for most of the game, for the whole first half.
Yep.
It was still in doubt in the fourth quarter at home against Troy.
Weather delay, I think, fucked Troy like a fuck the Cowboys.
Probably, yeah. You're probably
right. Clemson, Georgia Tech's getting I think 9 here. Ooh.
Where's this game?
It's at Georgia Tech.
It is a real dangerous game. Upset alert. I suspect Clemson was probably looking forward past Troy to this game, which I understand. But they haven't looked good in either of their first 2 games.
Is Klubnik now out of the Heisman altogether? He's got to be, right?
Well, right now.
Well, he doesn't have many marquee games left either. That's the other
Think of the guys that we've mentioned.
Mateer,
somebody's,
Fire.
Yeah, they look fantastic in the first couple games. So, yeah, there's a problem there. But, anything can happen. He can go bananas. I don't know. But
I don't see that happening.
They have struggled in the first 2 games, and he's missed, you go back and watch that. I was watching some of that Troy game, because it was close. So I'm like, shit, I better watch this thing. He missed wide open guys a couple times. And I mean, missed by 6, 7, 8 yards, not even close. So there's some issues there to be concerned about. It'll be an interesting game. I got to feel that they're going to come out guns a-blazing, not flat and play a pretty good game. But it hasn't been great first 2 games. Has not.
Noon kick, ladies and gentlemen. So be aware.
Be ready.
Weird game here. Wisconsin at Alabama.
Yeah, so one of my picks, I'll say one of my auxiliary picks last week was Alabama, but it wasn't sexy because they were favored by 35.5 and they won 70-0 or something like that. It means nothing, right? Because who was it against? New Mexico, Sisters of the Poor or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So it means nothing. And while Wisconsin hasn't looked great, because they just struggle so much on offense, and now this game is in Alabama. Alabama, I don't care what happened last week. Alabama still has something to prove. DeBoer still has something to prove. So this is an important game for them. For Wisconsin, it'd be nice. It'd be great. It'd be a program builder, but it's not a must win. It is a must win for Alabama. If they lose this game, DeBoer probably doesn't even make it to the end of the season. I don't know where they're going to get $80 million to buy him out, but that's the kind of game. If you lose after what happened in week 1, if you lose at home to us again, I don't think it's gonna happen. They're favored by 17 or something like that.
I think more than that too. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. But
Nick Saban, interim coach.
Oh my gosh.
I believe this is probably the game of the week or second game of second whatever. Number 6, Georgia goes to Knoxville and plays Mr. Aguilar and the Tennessee Vols. 15th ranked Tennessee Vols.
Where's the game? It's at Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I kind of like Tennessee in this game. But because they haven't really played anybody yet, it's really hard. I just don't think that Georgia has looked particularly good on the offensive side of the ball to
They
start the
haven't looked good
season.
offense in 2 years now.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Now you got Beck is gone. I do like the kid that's starting there. I can't remember his name.
Gunner Stockholm or Gunner something.
Something like that. But there are some growing pains that are going on over there. So this will be a real good
and
game.
That place is going to be fucking rocking.
Oh my God. 110, 112,000 people,
in
all orange and white. Forget about it. Is it a night game?
3:30.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I may have something to say about this later on.
The sneaky South Florida Bulls.
Can they do it again?
At Miami.
Double-digit dogs again. Can they do it again? Can they do it again? Here's one thing we always say. Here's one thing you know for a fact. Defense travels. Okay? Defense travels. Why do we say that? Because you're not dealing so much with the crowd if you're the road team on defense, because the crowd tends to give their offense some peace, some quiet so that they can run their offense. So defense travels well. Miami played well against Notre Dame. Last week was Bethune-Cookman. I'm not going to get too excited about kicking Bethune-Cookman's ass. It was a good win against Notre Dame. I tell you, I love the fact that Miami and Florida State look like old school Miami and Florida State, but I promise you I will be rooting for South Florida just because if they're real and they pull this off, dude, they're almost guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, right? I mean, almost guaranteed, because you got to believe then they go win their conference and they'll be in. So could you imagine South Florida 3 games to start the season against ranked opponents and they win them all? 2 of them on the road? What?
Against in-state quote unquote rivals? Yeah.
Bro, I will be pulling hard for the Bulls.
This game's a weird 4:30, I think, on the CW network, which is fucking weird. But
I will find it.
Yes, you will.
That's shitty. I guess nobody thought this game was going to be worth a shit before the season when they.
Correct.
I'll buy that one.
And now they're going cha-ching, cha-ching. The Florida Gators backs up against the wall, go to Death Valley, and play the 3rd-ranked LSU Tigers.
Yeah, I say must win, but I can't see it. I just can't see it. Now, LSU did not exactly play fantastic last week, but
no.
I feel like maybe they kind of were sleepwalking through that game because they knew they were coming up. It's always like that look-ahead game, you know what I mean? So I think that's what was going on here. I think this is a really tough spot. Look, if you're Napier, this is how you earn your job. You don't have to win this game, but you have to be very competitive and you have to have a chance to win at the end of the game. Like, it's just got to be competitive. If they get beat by double digits in this game, God, it's gonna get ugly. I'm not saying he's gonna get fired. It's just they don't have the money for this kind of stuff. He just got an extension last year, I think. But it's you got to look good. You got to be competitive. If they won the game against South Florida, I don't think they're expected to win the LSU game, right? So I'm trying to be fair. I think your fan base has to be fair, but you got to be competitive. You certainly can't go in there and get your doors blown off. And I think there's the potential for them to get their doors blown off.
To South Bend, number 16th ranked A&M Aggies against number 8th ranked Notre Dame. Notre Dame off a bye. A&M has looked like a Mike Elko A&M team. Good defense. Sloppy a little bit offensively.
Yep.
I think this game's got like 24-21 written all over it.
That would be high. Yeah. Because both teams have pretty good defense. I don't know how good Notre Dame's offense is either. It didn't look great against Miami.
Against Elko's defense,
yeah. Could totally see a low-scoring game here.
I got to tell you, this could be must-win for Notre Dame. With the rest of their schedule, the only tough game I think they have left is USC, who's not exactly a juggernaut yet either.
Right.
You have 2 losses here with that schedule, and God forbid you lose a 3rd, you were fucked.
Yeah, if you're talking about the playoffs. Can they get in with 2 losses?
Peter, hold on. I'm going to grab their schedule here for a second.
I know that's a good question, man.
Thank you, buddy. That's what I do on this show.
It'll depend on a lot of other things because I say this more often than not, as you're looking that up, more often than not, Notre Dame gets the benefit of the doubt. And it's strictly because of money, because, the networks and all this stuff, they know that Notre Dame travels well, Notre Dame sells on TV. So if they're on the fence, they would rather have Notre Dame in than have them out. 2 losses is tough, though.
So
and you're starting off 1-2, and then you got to run the table. It's a lot to ask.
All right, here we go. They're 6.5-point favorites. Oh, I like A&M in that game. Why didn't I take it? Why didn't I take it? All right, let's go.
Tuesday.
Ready?
You still can.
Ready? Yeah, that's true, but I mean on the show.
Oh.
A&M home, Purdue home, at Arkansas. That's a
win.
good game.
They should be a win.
Versus Boise, who stinks this year.
Stinks is strong, but they should win.
Versus NC State, win.
Should win.
Versus USC.
Tough.
At Boston College.
Tough.
Versus Navy.
Boston College is not bad. What was the next one?
Yeah, they should have won the game the other day against State. Versus Navy.
Should be a win.
At Pitt.
Should be a win. Pitt's been struggling.
Versus Syracuse.
Syracuse is not terrible. Syracuse can score, but Syracuse's defense is not good.
It's in South Bend, too. At Stanford, who's terrible.
It's a win. They're so bad.
So you see what I mean? Their schedule, like if they lose 3, dude, they're
what do you hang your hat on?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as good wins.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's fair.
Yeah. Thank you. You have anything else, Bob? You want to?
I just want to mention. We talked about UCLA and how bad they are. UCLA is playing New Mexico this weekend and are 15.5-point favorites. This is the same New Mexico team that played really, really tough on the road against Michigan. It's not one of my picks, but I'm just saying nobody likes UCLA's coach. If you were to lose at home, and I don't think this is outrageous, if you were to lose at home to New Mexico, and there might be about 73 people in the stands for this game, by the way. Dude, think of this with Nico.
Crazy.
You went from a stadium that held 115 and 115 went to the game, 115,000. And now you go to UCLA, you play in a Rose Bowl that holds 100,000 and about 44 people show up. That includes parents and relatives.
Dude, it's crazy. They tarp half the fucking field.
So while this is not an important game, it's an interesting game to keep your eye on. And I will be laughing. I certainly will be texting you, laughing my balls off, if it's like third quarter and it's like 13-10 UCLA or something.
That's gotta be like 11 o'clock tip, right? Like 11 p.m.
I'm not sure. I don't have it. What time? But I'll keep an eye on that just because it's something because of Nico.
Yeah,
like I am a Vealoa or whatever the hell.
He's not good.
Not on this team.
Yeah. He wasn't
got bad offensive line. It's really tough to throw the football when your offensive line doesn't block and you got a guy up in your grill for every second. This ain't Tennessee no more, buddy. None of these guys are going to the NFL.
Peter, do you want to stay hot and do some gambling?
I would love to because I wanted to point something out here. Oh, go ahead. You speak first.
So I want to this one I picked the wrong year to do this fucking thing. So I'm going to keep track of our bets all year long. Okay. So weekly and season. So I am 1-1. I was 1-3 last week, 2-5 overall. The Red Hot Calisano, 3-1 last week, 5-2 overall.
I wanted to point out one thing now. I had 2 extra picks, auxiliary picks.
And they hit as well.
Don't
start jerking off just yet, my friend.
I'm not.
It's only September 9th.
I'll be honest with you. I don't love this week. So maybe this is the week that I come back down to earth.
So I had fucking 3 games lose by half a point.
It's brutal. That was me last year. I had a ton of those. It's the worst.
Damn.
It's the worst.
I could at least give me 2-2, dude. You want to start us off or you want me to start us off?
I will start us off here. I think the Cowboys looked pretty good in that first game of the season. And if you're telling me that's what they're going to do against the Philadelphia Eagles defense
on the road
and on the road and an emotional home opener for the Super Bowl champs, I got to think that the Cowboys are inspired after that game. They're at home. I don't even care that they're playing the Giants. They're playing against Russell Wilson. Give me the Cowboys -5.5 over the Giants.
I think as of Tuesday, I think that's going to be one of my survivor pool picks as well. I think I'm going to go
Be
that route.
careful.
I know division games scare me, but you got it.
No.
I know. So we're not starting college. We're going right to the NFL. Is that what you're changing?
I'm sorry. That's because it's on the left.
That's why we don't let you start. You fucking
left to right. Left to right.
Fucking guy. Only been doing it 5 years. I guess I'll start NFL as well. So I have three here. I have three here. That
I do too.
I have three that I'm picking. I'll pick
we have to narrow it down.
You want to go three?
Let's let it rip.
Let's
5
go.
picks today.
All right. So I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons getting 4.5 points at Minnesota.
That's ballsy.
I just think it's a 3-point game. I think it's a 3-point game either way. I think the way that they both play, Falcons are going to be scrambling. JJ and the Vikings maybe coming off a short week, emotional win.
Sure.
Maybe they're reading the press clippings a little bit. Falcons kind of need the win. I think it's a 3-point game either way, so I'll take the 4.5.
I like that one. You may not want to do the podcast with me anymore after this because I know how you think as if I have some kind of special powers, but
you didn't last week. You had Oklahoma. They smoked us.
I'm a big believer in you're never as good or as bad as you were last week. So while the Colts played outside of their minds and the Broncos they won the game, but I'm not going to go as far as saying they laid an egg, but they didn't play very well, even though they still won the game. I think that reverses. Colts come back down to earth. I can't imagine that against one of the top 5 defenses in the entire NFL, they're going to score on every single possession like they did last week. And I got a feeling that Bo Nix is going to bounce back and have a significantly better game. So give me the Broncos. They're only giving 1.5. So basically what we're saying is go into Indy and win this game. Give me the Colts -1.5. Give me the Broncos -1.5 over the Colts.
I don't hate your logic there.
You just hate that I'm picking them.
I don't hate that you're picking them because I hate more when you pick Michigan than you pick the Broncos, but man, Denver really did look fucking sluggish on offense. That really scares the shit out of me. I just
can't believe where it's Sean Payton. I don't want
to go that year 2 sophomore slump yet.
Nah, come on.
Yeah, I know. All right.
No.
All right, I'll pull my pants back up.
Hey, I said preseason, I think the Titans are better than people are giving them credit for. They built that. Remember what did I say? They built that team from the inside out.
Dude, that one defensive tackle was a pain in the ass.
Ugh. Yes.
Casey or whatever. Jesus.
Maybe Tennessee's a little better than we think. That's all.
All right, I'll go with your logic there.
You want it to be that, so yeah.
You mentioned the Los Angeles Chargers beating the fucking piss out of the Raiders. Let's get this thing cooking. Raiders, good week 1.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers banged up. If he's out of the lineup, forget about it. I'll lay 6.5 in this game, but I'll take the laying 3.5. Chargers -3.5 at Raiders. 10 o'clock kick Monday night, folks. Can we stop with these fucking things, dude?
I'll take your word for it. What happens?
I got to tell you, I don't know if I'm making it either, man. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to pass out on the couch more and more often here.
So I don't know what's worse, that I did that to you by taking the Broncos or that I'm going to do what I'm about to do right now. Buffalo had a really hard time, and I'm being kind. I'm being really kind in saying that they had a hard time stopping the run against the Ravens. It was atrocious. And we know that they have some issues on the back half in their corners. Their corners just look flat out slow. I gotta believe that the Steelers defense is the Steelers defense, right? Which means the Jets offensive line is improved and aggressive and is capable of opening some serious holes for Breece Hall and that core of running backs that they have. You know damn well the Jets aren't going to win this game because that's not what they do. And I can't imagine Justin Fields is going to play as well as he did. But you're going to tell me that you're going to get 6.5 points at home against a team that can't stop the run? Give me the Jets. I am a total masochist here. Give me the Jets +6.5 against the Buffalo Bills. They lose the game, but they keep it close.
Peter, I'm going to go to the Meadowlands as well.
Oh, no.
I don't know if we're two morons.
Have we not learned anything?
People have called this that before. Is this too obvious? Everything you just said. The Bills have not played well there. They lost the game.
Historically, you're right.
Rodgers got knocked out of the game 2 years ago.
Correct.
They knocked me out of a suicide pool one year in late November playing at the Jets. I think I am impressed with what Aaron Glenn has going there with the chemistry of the room. Justin Fields, if he doesn't make mistakes, keep going with the two-headed running back monster. Get Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor more involved in the tight end game. And that defense from Buffalo was Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese. Both running and passing, by the way.
6.5 points. I'm with you with the Jets. So that means Buffalo 70, Jets 10.
Do you think the Jets have a chance to win it outright?
I do. I do.
Jets, Jets.
I don't listen. We could be totally backpedaling on this on next week.
Probably.
I think Buffalo's got issues.
They're just so good on offense. If the Steelers could score 40 or whatever the hell they ended up scoring, was it 40?
34.
What the hell are
Well, listen, but the game was short field on a punt thing and a kick.
Fair. I took it too. I'm an idiot too. I've learned nothing.
We're idiots.
College football.
Hey, look at that.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have drank the Kool-Aid here, folks. Money talks, bullshit walks, and there's plenty of money down in Longhorn country. But I'm not talking about the Longhorns. I'm talking about Texas Tech. $30 million on your football program. Sure as shit looks like it's paying off. Now, it's a big line, but they don't seem to care about running the score up. So give me Texas Tech, Baron Morton, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders over the Beavers of Oregon State. Minus 23.5. Texas Tech minus 23. That's a long way to go. But they might win 60-6. So Texas Tech minus 23.5 over Oregon State.
Peter, I watched the Oklahoma Sooners beat up Michigan last week, pretty much.
Dominated them.
Wow.
All right. Too far.
Easy. Don't spank me that hard. They are going to a weird place this week. They're going to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to play the Temple Owls for some reason.
So bizarre. What a letdown.
24.5 points.
Seems low, doesn't it?
Game day last week. The whole Mateer's got the Heisman in the bag.
You smell that?
Why is Temple even coming out to play this game, Peter?
Fishy.
I don't know if they're going to have the same juice. I think it could be a little sleepwalk, play with your food kind of game.
Mateer throws like 4 interceptions.
Temple gets a weird, maybe a muff punt.
Onside kick.
Hanging around, they say in rounders.
Hanging around.
Give me Temple plus 24.5 against Oklahoma.
Temple's got that alligator blood, that's for sure.
Nice.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I think Georgia has beaten Tennessee 8 straight times.
I am aware.
Georgia has to go to Tennessee, which they've won, I think, 4 straight times.
Is he pulling me Corso? Is he pulling me?
Not so fast, my friend.
Yes. I smelt it.
Tennessee could not be happier that Nico is out of the building and Aguilar is in. We don't want no Hawaiians. We want a Mexican quarterback, and they got him, and they love him. Tennessee, home dog? Are you kidding me? Give me the Vols. 110,000 rowdy fans, all dressed in orange and white. Place is going to be going bananas. That the Jack Daniels will be flowing. That Tennessee whiskey will be flowing in the parking lot before the game. The streak ends here. Tennessee plus a 3.5. Fuck that money line. But yeah, take the 3.5 as far as the show goes. Tennessee plus a 3.5 over the Bulldogs. I'm just not impressed with their offense right now, and I got a feeling Tennessee pulls this off. It has the feel of a couple years ago when Alabama came to Tennessee and Tennessee pulled off the upset. I just got a feeling they're going to do it again. 110,000 crazy Tennessee Volunteer fans rush the field, tear down the goalposts. Beautiful sight.
Peter, you might need to take me to an insane asylum after this pick.
Oh, no.
You have any hunch where I'm going?
I don't, but you're due for something absolutely bizarre. So here we go. I'm bracing myself. I got my seatbelt on
I have no idea why I'm doing this.
because it was a tough schedule and there weren't a lot of clear games to pick.
And desperate's a stinky cologne, my friend. Billy Napier
Oh my God, you are retarded.
is
What's wrong with you,
Billy
psycho?
Napier is saying, "Not so fast, my friend."
Oh, I don't think he has any friends. So.
I think, you know what? That's probably fair as well. He has to go to Death Valley at night after just losing at home to South Florida.
Is there a worse place to play at night?
It's not great. I got to tell you, I'm off my meds as well, I think. I don't know why this number's not 23. You said before LSU did not look great last week either.
They didn't.
Florida, if they have any goddamn pride and any respect for the guy that recruited them and paid them to go to Florida, you got to nut up this week. I'm not saying Florida wins this game, but getting 10 points in Death Valley, can I get another weird fucking game? Can I get some other weird shit going on here? If they get smoked in this game, I'd be stunned if he's got a job on Sunday. I'd be stunned. But if you lose a hard battle here, 27-24,
Fair.
you hang around. Come on, DJ Lagway. Everyone was fucking blowing you in the offseason. Let's go. Where's this Heisman guy? Show up. Give me Florida. I don't know why. Plus 10 at LSU.
I don't think I'm busting your chops here, but I don't think this is as crazy as you think. This is exactly the spot where everybody's like, Florida stinks. You lost to South Florida, LSU, Heisman Trophy, possible national championship. And it ends up being a significantly tougher game than anybody realizes. What I also think is a very strong possibility here is the whole backdoor cover. You know, it's a 14-point game late in the game, 3 minutes left. Florida gets the ball, their backup quarterback's in, and they just let her rip. And LSU's already like smoking the ganja and you know, drinking the booze. So a little backdoor cover, win by 7, 35-28 or something.
Neil, let's get out of here.
Yeah. So I don't think it's as crazy as you say. So my picks for this week, Cowboys -5.5 over the Giants. The Broncos at the Colts -1.5. I just think the Jets are going to run the ball well, stick around, getting 6.5 against Buffalo. I like Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are for real with all that cash that's flowing down there in Texas. -23.5 against Oregon State. And the Volunteers getting 3.5 at home against Georgia.
My picks, the Atlanta Falcons +4.5 at the Vikings. The Los Angeles Chargers -3.5 at the Raiders. The Jets with Peter +6.5 hosting the Bills. The Temple Owls +24.5 versus the Oklahoma Sooners, and the Florida Gators +10 at LSU.
Hey, I know we normally do trivia here, but do you want to postpone it? We're running real late. We're coming up on 2 hours.
I know. We can do it quick. We can do it real quick.
We'll do it real quick? Okay.
Real quick. Marcus Allen is first all-time in rushing touchdowns with the Raiders. Who is second? Pete Banaszak, Zach Crockett, Josh Jacobs, Darren McFadden.
Oh, man, McFadden was hot for a short time. How about Jacobs?
Wrong. Pete Banaszak.
I don't even know who that is.
So Marcus Allen, 79 touchdowns. Pete Banaszak, 47. That's
oh, my God.
LaDainian Tomlinson is first all-time in rushing touchdowns with the Chargers. Who is second? Melvin Gordon, Natron Means, Austin Eckler, Chuck Muncie.
I would love it to be Natron Means, but I just can't imagine. What were the other names?
Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler, Chuck Muncie.
So the question was rushing touchdowns or touchdowns?
Second, rushing touchdowns.
Rushing.
Yeah.
How about Muncie?
You got it, baby.
I figured you threw that in.
How about this one? LT 138, Muncie 43.
Oh my God! So you could combine the next 3 guys and they still don't add up to LT. Oh my Lord!
He should have went in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah.
Peter, last one. Who's the all-time leader in rushing touchdowns?
How did he go to?
Who? LT? TCU. Yes, sir. Who's the all-time leading leader in rushing touchdowns with the Carolina Panthers? D'Angelo Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Cam Newton, Jonathan Stewart.
Oh, man. Why did you throw Cam Newton in there? This is a tough one. Wow. Shit. Was McCaffrey there long enough he scored a lot of touchdowns, but then they were bad for a while, and he was injured a lot. Jonathan Stewart.
Cam Newton.
Damn you! Damn, you did it to me again, man. It just felt funny with Cam Newton being in it, like, oh, he's going to throw quarterback in there. Son of a bitch.
He ran a lot of touchdowns and did that stupid Superman shit every time. Yeah,
son of a bitch. I know, obviously, we're watching football this weekend, but these days it seems more and more rare that we get a big boxing match. But you do have that rare, like, super mega match this weekend. I think it's this weekend. Canelo Alvarez versus Jamal Crawford.
The basketball player?
Yeah. Maybe it's not Jamal Crawford. It's Crawford, that's for sure.
It's
Is it this weekend?
It is Saturday. You're right, yeah. And it's Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford. I am sorry. This is. I've said to you many times that I'm so much more of a UFC fan because, number one, there seems to be more stars. There's more events that matter, and there's just more knockouts and that kind of shit. Knockouts, chokeouts, kickouts, whatever you want to talk about. And it just seems like boxing, fewer and fewer matches that matter. I ask people all the time when I say that, I go, well, who's the heavyweight champion of the world right now? And nobody can name who it is. So if you don't even know who the heavyweight champion or boxing heavyweight champion of the world is, what are we even talking about? But with that said, this match is huge. Crawford's jumping up 2 weight classes. Canelo is Canelo. The guy just doesn't fucking lose. But Crawford's undefeated. So mega fight here. I'm super excited. I think I'm leaning Crawford because he dominated people that I just wouldn't have expected him to dominate. So I think he might win, but I just stepping up 2 weight classes is a lot to ask against one of the all-time great fighters. So I always said I wish Mayweather was a little younger, and then Canelo could have fought him when he was a little older. I think Canelo was like 22 or 23 years old when he fought Mayweather. He just wasn't ready for that, and he's just such a better fighter at this point. I would have loved to have seen that now as opposed to then. But anyway, mega fight should be fun. It's going to be difficult to stay up for me till midnight to watch it, I assume, but it'll be a lot of fun. So we have that. For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run. We'll catch you guys next week.
Later.
Yeah, we were running up. It was an hour and 51 minutes.
I know. I can't realize we're just
going, man.
I know.
I don't know.
Jesus
so,
Christ.
Probably have this out tonight, maybe tomorrow night. No huge rush with this.
No rush.
So, but I'm by myself here, so I might.
Hey, real quick, what was the fucking that email with that guy?